All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you. It's Jetliner Tuesday. Welcome. I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Today, we're in the Airbus A320neo with the Polish Airlines livery, LOT. We're heading from Warsaw, Poland, to London Gatwick. That is our route there. Information up there as needed. So hopefully, if anybody's going to join in, see if anybody's actually... No, it does not appear to be the case. I don't see anybody there that I recognize. But we'll wait a few minutes. Then we'll be on the departure runway. We'll taxi out and get in the air by 7:30. Good morning, Mr. Adams. Joseph. You are going to find yourself in hot water one day, young man. I don't know any other way to say it. If I were you, I would go to delete today's video right now. I would delete it. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Because if enough people go through and watch that video, you could be in hot water and you could be facing a ban from YouTube. I would delete today's video. Just, it doesn't exist. Just get rid of it right now. That would be my advice to you. Your Hattie's here. Oh my God, you're gonna get yourself in hot water. Yeah, I would get rid of it. Just get rid of the video. Delete it. I would delete it right now. Don't wait. Okay. Yeah. You're Joseph, your frustration is you're saying things that is going to get you into trouble. And I don't think you want to face a permanent ban on YouTube. So your mouth is going to get you in trouble. You gotta do something about your language, Addies. You're saying stuff out of frustration, and all it takes is one report, and if they hear it, it doesn't matter what context you say things in, they're gonna take your account down, and that's gonna be it. All your videos are gonna be gone. Your whole everything, and you're not gonna be able to watch anybody on YouTube because you won't be able to log in. It's not worth it. Anyways, all right. Well, we'll wait a few more minutes. See if anybody is going to join in. I don't believe so. We'll wait to see if anybody says that they're... Yeah, you got to do something, Joseph. You really do. I can't implore you enough to... You got to figure out a way to change your language, because otherwise you're gonna find yourself in deep trouble. So I can't stress it enough to you as your friend that you gotta do something. Because I hate to see you lose all your videos and your entire channel. All right. 18, a few more minutes and we'll spawn in on the runway. I don't think anybody's flying with us today. At least nobody has said anything. But the information is there. I know I said I was going to fly the A321. I thought it had the Polish airline livery, the LOT, but it does not. Ooh, I need to put in this stuff. LOT 1123. Good thing I checked that. All right. Well, that's all I'm going to say about it, Joseph. But as long as you got rid of that video, I think you're okay. But man, you're. Anyways, all right. All right. Let's go ahead and get ready to go. So I've kind of I had to do a little bit of rearranging now. My all right. Wait a few more minutes. Oop, I guess it's ready to. Look, it is just starting to taxi right now. I'm not even controlling the plane. All right, let me just go ahead and do this. Altimeter. That's already down. All the lights should be on. Yep. Oh, I gotta look at the altitude. What's our expected altitude first? Climb and maintain 12,000. Okay. Director's already on. Oops. Do need to check. Make sure the flight plan is set. And I checked it last night and it looked like it was going to be fine, but you know, there's always that chance that alright, looks like we are good to go. I can live with that. Earned. Alright. We still got a few more minutes to wait. Oh, let me check the fuel. that should get us there, because it says, when I looked it up online last night, I think they said it would only take about 14,000 pounds of fuel. So we're a little bit over. That should be more than enough to get us there. I like to have a little extra just to be on the safe side. Alright, 6 minutes. I don't think anybody's raring to go from here. Now the interesting thing is, while we're sitting here waiting, the runway doesn't really begin until here. Right? That's the area. We're basically in the area where the planes come in, they fly over, and then they're setting down roughly somewhere after the numbers, right? But for whatever reason, and I was curious about this because I did taxi out here last night just to kind of get a feel for where, the layout of the airport if we were going to do a cold and dark startup. But it took me through here, down this taxiway to right here, and then had the line up here as well. So it's rather strange that the numbers are up there, but they're saying we're going to take off from back here. I don't know that that's normal, because usually this is an area that you can't, like, this is like a runoff area, I guess. Yeah, that's more of what it is, not a actual part of the runway. So either the numbers need to be moved back here, and then you have an actual longer runway, or they need to move the spawn-in point or whatever up to here. You need to change it, one or the other. All right, about 5 more minutes, and then we'll get going. So yeah, my table was delayed. Oh, yesterday was just one of those days, I tell you. I had an appointment, supposed to have an appointment yesterday. So I get down to the bus junction, right? And I'm getting ready to get off the bus, and I check my phone, just out of habit, because sometimes people will call me and I have the ringer off because I don't like to disturb other people on the bus. That's just rude. And I had a message from my VA clinic that my appointment was canceled. So I had to. I was so pissed because the person I was supposed to see had been out of town since last week, and they just tell me the day of my appointment that my appointment's canceled. So, needless to say, I was not a very happy camper yesterday. And then my new mouse came yesterday in the mail, which is nice. I got it all hooked up, but I got to figure out how to use it with Microsoft Flight Simulator. And then I had the TV dinner table that I had coming is delayed. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It may come today. It may come tomorrow. If it doesn't come tomorrow, they said, well, on Thursday I could come back and ask for a refund. I'm like, well, why don't you just let me have the refund now? Because why should I wait till Thursday? So yeah, yesterday was just one of those days. What can you do? Oh, you know what we need to do? I just remembered. That's one thing that's missing. One zero flaps. There we go. All right. All right, so I'm just waiting, but I cleared off the little, I kind of figured this little TV dinner tray table that I have already, it barely fits the keyboard barely fits on there. The mouse, I've kind of had to do some, you know, whatever you want to call it, be a bit creative with the with things. So, but anyway, so but the other table that I have, well, that's supposed to be coming is a bit larger, so it gives me a little bit more room. But so I've got the laptop to my left now instead of my right, so I have to remember to look over every so often. So if I missed your comment today, I apologize in advance. All right, we're waiting. We're in the last minute here. There's our Polish Airlines. Yeah, I thought the A321s that there, because there's the two different versions. There's the long range and normal range. I thought either one of them had, with the two different engine options, of course. I thought it had the LOT, the Polish Airlines livery, and I checked them all, and they do not. So I was like, oh, it must have been the A320 that has it. All right, I think we are going to go ahead. Yeah, it's close enough for government work, as we like to say. No, we're going to speed. What are you going to do, come up and ticket me? The old crusty salute to Warsaw. We are on our way to London Gatwick. Live weather. There's no telling what we may encounter along the way. Oh, you know what I didn't change? Oh, I think. Oh, it should be fine. I think we're set for 36,000 feet for our final cruise altitude for today. I think is once we pass over the channel, that's when we'll start our descent into London Gatwick. Make a couple turns, and then we'll turn in for runway 26 left at London Gatwick. We'll put her on the ground and be done for the day. We should be going higher here any moment. We go up to about 24. Yep. Guess that one, right? nice picture here. Did not change. There we go. Thought I hit it. Maybe I hit the reset button. Ooh, that's kind of a neat picture right there on the turn. Ooh, look at that wing flex. See if you can see it from here. Look at that. You reckon it might, at least I'm flying faster than the speed of smell. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Kiosk? I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. I'm always thrown off by the numbers in somebody's name. I don't know what that's supposed to signify. All right. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Thank you for the follow. Let's see. I think this is one of our... Nope, not yet. So we are on our... That's our departure point. That's the last point for our departure route, I should say, out of Warsaw. So once we're there, we'll turn and head towards the west. This has got to go to standard. Wow, this is way behind. Okay, let me refresh that. All right. Tomorrow we'll be back in the Junkers 52 from Alur Sitar to Singapore. We've got a big portion of the flight, 216 nautical miles. That's going to be almost 2 hours in length. 340. So yeah, we have that, and then we'll come in on an ILS approach into Singapore. Thursday and Friday we'll be in the Cessna 208B. Thursday's flight Gainesville to Augusta. Friday's flight Schenectady to Rochester. Saturday Cheyenne to Ainsworth. No stream on Sunday. That's what we got coming up. All right, so there we are, 190 nautical miles for that leg. Quite a bit of flying still getting up to our cruising altitude. We'll hang out here for a bit. Work on my coffee. So yeah, no stream Sunday, and then we'll be back. We'll finish up next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have the last 3 legs of the flight to Indonesia, in the Unkers 52. Once we conclude that flight on Wednesday, which should be a very short flight, shouldn't take but maybe an hour and a half tops, if even that. I will be taking a break from streaming. I still will fly, but I will be taking a break from streaming. Still plan on getting some flights done in the Concorde. Try to get a couple trips from JFK to Heathrow, and then what else? We will have Sim Update 10. So on Thursday we'll have a week until the new Q&A session with Jorg and the folks from Osobo regarding, I'm sure Sim Update 10 will be the main topic and anything else that they're working on. So we will have that supposed to be on the 23rd. So that's part of the reason why I'm taking a break, because I don't know what will work and what won't. So now my mouse is there. Oh, now the mouse is working. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Now oh, there we go. That's a little bit closer than we usually get. I like it. Okay. That's like playback. Oh, the mouse is working now. I like it. So I got to get used to that now. And using that to help with the control of the aircraft and the knobs and bits and bobs and such. Alright, almost at 34,000. There we go. The last bit. Good morning, Mixter. How are you, good sir? Nice to see you here. Hopefully you're still recovering from last night's ludicrous displays on FIFA. Not that you had any ludicrous displays, but oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know. I think if I'd been in any of those matches last night, I would have pulled what little bit of hair I have left out. Hello, Amela. Oh, I thought that. Oh, I'm sorry. I saw Amela. Boy, it's one of those days today. I am sorry. Hello, Amela. How are you? There go the ads. Yeah, I know, Joseph. I glanced over and saw the red, and I thought it was Mick. So it's fine. Hello, Amela. How are you? I hope you are well. Hopefully you're staying cool in this ludicrous heat. Well, we had some rain yesterday afternoon, and I was hoping it would cool things down, but of course not. And it was after I got back from my non-appointment. Oh, when I got back, I got off the bus over by Walmart and walked around the park a couple times, and then went into Walmart, got some bologna and bread and some Pop-Tarts. I'm doing okay. Yeah, just yeah, yesterday was one of those days, like, nothing seemed to go right. I got downtown to the junction, was supposed to have an appointment, and then I'm getting ready to get off the bus. I check my phone, And they're like, "Oh, your appointment's canceled today." And I'm thinking, why didn't you call me like on Friday and cancel my appointment? Then I wouldn't have been expecting to, you know. So yeah, and then the larger TV dinner tray or dinner table that I have coming, that's a little bit larger than the one I have, is delayed. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It may be here today. It may not be. It may be tomorrow. But on Amazon, it says if it's not there by Wednesday, you could come back in on, log in on Thursday, and we'll process a refund. I was like, well, I mean, why don't we just process the refund now? that's my thought process. But anyway, I don't think we need. There we go. Not mitzvah. Oh, now this is starting to act up. Let me refresh my. So, of course, Twitch has got its little issues. So, yeah, that's what. So, we've been in the air about 10 minutes now. Yeah, about 13 minutes actually. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. Well, it didn't make matters worse. Normally, Doris and I talk on Mondays, and she couldn't go home for. She goes home for her mealtime because she's not. She's only like 10 minutes from her job, where she lives, and so we didn't get to talk because she was in a meeting for quite some time. So it went right through her mealtime, and I was sitting here waiting, like, man, normally she's home by now. And so I messaged her. She's like, no, not tonight. Okay. No, what can you do? There's Mick. Hello, Mick. As I was saying earlier, because I looked over and I thought you were already in here. I hope you are still recovering from that ludicrous display in FIFA last night. Although it wasn't you that was the ludicrous part. It was other people, other players. Shall remain nameless. Oh, I don't know. I couldn't do it, Mick. Honestly, like if I'd been in that match last night, I think I would have pulled out every last bit of hair I have. Any of those matches last night. And I feel bad because I don't know what else you or Pulse has to say about playing positions. Like if you're going to be a cam or a wing or whatever, that is where you are. You don't go forward, Yeah, I don't know. Oh, nice. Well, that's good. How long did it take him to do that, just out of curiosity? Because I'm thinking my iPhone 10 probably is in. So the funny thing is, I'm getting the emails from Verizon. Now this is what happened when I got my iPhone 10. Right. I had an iPhone, I think a 4 or a 6. I had an older iPhone, right? And I was over at the mall. I was there basically to go get a haircut. And of course they have a Verizon because I use Verizon. And so I get this message, oh, hey, you're due for an upgrade. Why don't you stop by the store? Like it knew I was near a freaking Verizon store. And I'm like, what the? So I go in there and they're like, yeah, you're eligible for a phone upgrade. So I think the 10 was still the newest, and so I've had the 10 for I think about 3 years now. And be nice if possible. The other thing, we know some are not as good, but come on, it's like controlling children. Yes, I agree, Mick. I agree. Well, I don't know who that one person was that Pulse kept yelling at about. It was like he was a third forward, and Pulse kept saying, what are you doing? Why are you up there? You're not supposed to be up there. If you want to play striker, then say you want to play striker. Otherwise, play your position that you're on right now. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it. I probably, after the second or third match, I probably would have ended the stream last night, to be honest. Oh my goodness. But it's like that's. Oh, okay. Well, Joseph, that's subject to interpretation. Let's be honest. I'm sure Mick might go like, well, I don't know about that. That's a little. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought ended up happening, but yeah, it was just like how many. I know Pulse warned him like numerous times to play his position, but again, it's almost like people do want to be the striker, except then like, hey, do you want to play strike? Well, no, I don't think I'm. Just go up if we're giving you the opportunity, right? Then take it, but don't assume that you're if you're a CM that you're going to be a striker as well, unless the opportunity presents itself. But that's only if I don't know. It's just it's crazy. But yeah, I couldn't do it. I would just be like, yeah, that's it. We're done. Yeah, we know, Joseph. I know what happened. I was there watching. But I don't know why people seem to think that, I don't know if it's just that they're like, oh, I'm in somebody's stream and I'm just going to muck around and do my own thing. Well, then go play your own game. Go do your own stream. Yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like that's part of the problem is you have people who aren't what do you call it? They're just there to be a part of a stream, even though they don't really. They don't care about your team winning. That's part of the problem, I think. So I don't know. It's crazy. All right, we are still on to that nav point of Subix. Yep. So we've got quite a ways to go. We've only been in the air for about 30 minutes. Well, it says 30 minutes there, but we've been streaming for. We started the stream at 10 after, well, actually 11 after, because I lost track of time. They're there to get. Yeah, I think that's part of it, Mick. Is they don't care about, and I hate to think this, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but it's almost like these people that you've played against. You don't remember the name, and so then they're like, hey, can I play with you? And then they just go in there purposely to goof around. They don't care. They're not there to help you win. They're just there to. Haha, I got on that. Remember that one team that beat us? Oh, now I helped them lose. It's just insane. But so yeah, it's. Anyways, yeah, I was just like, I thought for sure Pulse was going to throw in the towel after about the second or third match last night. Joseph, you get angry at everything. You get angry with the fake people in the stands. What are you talking about? You're already angry before Mick even starts the stream. 2 hours before, you're like already getting angry. Vic's gonna be streaming there. FIFA. You've already got yourself worked up. What are you talking about? I don't know what else to tell you. Joseph, you really got to get your anger under control somehow, young man. You are going to get yourself into a hypertensive state that you are not going to come out of. Then yeah, exactly. I agree, Mick. Absolutely. You are setting yourself up for hypertension in the worst possible way. Oh, maybe you need to learn how to meditate. Something. I don't know. You got to find some way to get rid of that. To control your anger better. As I said before, your anger is going to get the better of you, and you're going to end up saying some things that you're going to regret later on because you are going to lose. I can't stress it enough. You're going to lose your YouTube channel the rate you're going. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it does kind of give a bad impression. We'll let the folks up out of their seats now that we're cruising comfortably. Yes, Joseph, you've said that numerous times. I think Mick would be in agreement, but the problem is, and this is my observation, I'm not in any way, shape, or form a FIFA expert, but you guys you're trying to pass quickly, but what happens is you're not planning for the pass. You're just passing it, and then the other team intercepts it. So it's like a wasted pass. You have to be what's the word? You have to be more, think ahead before you pass it. Because there's times where other people are open and you pass it to the guy or the player who's got like 3 or 4 other players around him. So it's a wasted pass. You have to be more, before you do it. Just like, a quarterback has to look downfield. Okay, my number one receiver is covered by 2 safeties and somebody else. So I need to throw it to the tight end who's open on the other side. You can't just pass quickly and hope for the best. Try to think ahead. You're just passing it and then they're intercepting and then running right down the pitch and scoring. So, yeah. I think part of it is you have a more fluid style. You guys have been playing FIFA together for quite some time. But when you have other people come in, and I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but their style is much different because the position that they're playing is not the one that they would play if they're playing solo. They would obviously be the striker, right? So nobody plays solo and plays goalkeeper or cam or whatever, right? They always play the striker. So that's their preferred position. So yeah, you're trying to get people to come in. You and Pulse have a way of doing things that is not intuitive for them for some reason. Because sometimes it's down to, for like you and Pulse, Mick, the AI sometimes is spot on and they're helping you win, and other times it's like they're playing against you. You know, they don't pass. They're just, it's like they've lost their minds, their AI minds. You know. So, but yeah, when you have other players come in who their dynamic of playing is far different, you know, then it does kind of upset the balance a bit, I think. Not some people, I think, mean to upset the balance. Other people are trying. It's just that they're upsetting it by their own I don't know, their own something or other. I don't know. Yeah, it's just anyways. What can you do? And you know, then I don't, well, I'll just leave it at that, because it seems like there was a lot of other issues that were happening that, because I was reading stuff in the chat and I'm just like, what's this about? I don't know. Anyways, so we're on our way to London Gatwick here in the Polish Airlines liveried A320neo. We took off from Warsaw, Poland. Yeah, I know, Mick. Yeah. Well, some people, it seemed to me that some people were getting upset. I don't know if it was for no particular reason, or I don't know. It was just, I was like looking at the chat and I'm just like, what? Did I miss something? At least I got some goals, but it's the AI. You lost me there, Joseph. I didn't. What are you talking about exactly? Wow, it's already buffering again. Well, I apologize in advance if Twitch acts up and we lose the stream. I'll try to pause it and get the stream restarted right away. I prefer to do it all in one sitting, but it appears that Twitch might have its own ideas. Well, yeah. What, I mean, they're AI. You can't expect them to be the top players, you know. It's just, that's, you know, although it seems sometimes on other teams that they are. The AI are just like unstoppable. I don't know. It's a very weird situation, I think. But anyways, got 7 people watching. Thank you all for coming in. Hopefully everybody's having a nice Tuesday morning or afternoon, whatever the case may be. Oh, well. that is the plan. And now we are on to our next one. It's a very short distance away. Back tomorrow in the Junkers 52, departing from Al-Satar, heading to Singapore. Going to be a bit of a long one tomorrow. So do join us for that if you can, if you so desire. I will put in the, I'll try to notate the airports along the way. So if I'm already in the air and you want to join later, you're more than welcome to. And Thursday and Friday, Cessna 28B flights in the lovely Pan Am livery. Gainesville to Augusta, so Florida, Georgia, Schenectady to Rochester, New York. Saturday, Cheyenne to Ainsworth. Being the P-38 Lightning. No stream this Sunday. You guys are going to have to get along without me on Sunday. So Berlin, so we should be, I think we passed near, is it Belgium or, I think we talked to De Gaulle Center too along the way, I think. It's either that or Brussels. I know once we reach either France or Belgium, all we gotta do is cross the channel and then we'll... Oh. Alright, take care, Mella. Be safe, stay cool. Don't get into arguments. If you can help it. Not in this weather. Oh, Addies. You telling people to drink water. Goodness gracious. Oh, Joseph, you kill me sometimes. That's like you trying to tell Mick to eat healthy. I don't know about you sometimes, Joseph. I would venture to say throughout the day, Amela probably drinks way more water than you do the entire week. So yeah, taking a break Sunday, and then we'll finish up the last 3 legs to Indonesia. I think our first one will be a bit of a long flight, and then the last flight will be the shortest part. Get that knocked out, and I will take some time off from streaming, not flying necessarily, but I will be gone from streaming for a bit. So you can always watch reruns here on Twitch as long as they're up. Watch previous videos. If not, you can always catch them on YouTube. Always available there. I wonder if that's Berlin. It might be Berlin, the airport there in Berlin, which we have flown in and out of before. So yeah, we must be heading towards Brussels then. I think we are. It's either that or we're heading towards De Gaulle. Alright, what's our next? 48 nautical miles, alright. So yeah, gonna take some time off, work on the flying in the Concorde, get to grips with that. Hopefully have a couple successful flights so that when we are ready to do that, I'm thinking, let me kind of look at open the crystal ball here. So I would like to get it a flight maybe if every, well, no, all right, it'll be sometime early September, probably like the first. Let me open my calendar on my phone. How about that? That's probably better because I haven't really written things down all the way. So we may shoot. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Right. So the 17th will be the last flight. I'm gonna go into hiatus until September 1st. Okay. That gives me plenty of time with the Concorde and also with Sim Update 10, try to sort out any, because if the Concorde has its own issues, which is very likely because it's already a complex plane, but now with the WASM fix, the flight deck on the Concorde, I think there'll be another option basically that they're gonna put in the actual system the way it's supposed to be. But if you don't want to use that, you can use the I don't want to say the fake system, but anyway. So we'll start streaming back on the 1st of September. That's the target. That should be plenty of time to sort out any issues, get some time in the Concorde, and then so we'll start streaming again on the 1st of September. Now, September might be a short month for me because I think I'm still going to go back to California for a little visit. I got to talk to my folks about that. So, September might be a short month, but that's okay. We'll do what we can. I'm gonna shoot for like the last week or so of September to do the visit. Wow, this thing is really buffering. The last time I saw my mom and stepdad was Easter of 2019, so I haven't seen them in a while. My mom's getting a little antsy for me to come for a visit. So yeah, and then so yeah, I'm gonna I gotta call her later today and let her know that if we want to shoot for like the last week, because then I'll be there for her birthday and all that kind of stuff, which I'm sure she would appreciate. I think I'll be up at the lake, Mick. I'll try to take a short video and send it to you from the lake. Tell me, if you could ever get out, I know my folks would be happy to host you and your family if you ever got out all that way to California. If you flew into Reno, you got off the plane with your Stetson and your cowboy boots. But yeah, I know that would be a long flight for you, but yeah, I think they would certainly love to host you and your family if you ever got the chance. Yeah, I'll definitely take some pictures. I'll do some video as well. Matter of fact, I'll bring the video camera with me. It won't, because I don't think there will be a good enough signal where I can do the go live on Twitch or anything. So I will just shoot a ton of video and then edit it down to clips or something, to short videos. I'll show you guys the town of Chester, the area where my folks, my grandparents, where they lived until my grandfather passed away. Yeah, you'll really like it. Alright, 16 nautical miles to our next point. So we are looking for Arnu is our arrival portion. Still got quite a bit of ways to go, it looks like. Let's have a look here beyond. Let's zoom out a bit. So that's 320 nautical miles. That's what we got ahead of us. It looks like... Nope, that's not it. So yeah, we still got quite a bit. So it looks like we have some stuff from one beyond. So from HLZ to SAS, looks like it's going to be a bit of a long haul between those two, and then from here to here, looks like it's going to be a bit of a long stretch there as well. That's what we got well in the future on the flight. Still under Berlin Center, so I'm guessing another waypoint or two we should be, or nav point, we should be either over Belgian airspace or French airspace. One of the two. If I remember the flight plan. Matter of fact, sports fans, let's have a look-see here. I think it's still good. Yep, we can have a look right now. Oh, so we are, yep, all right. So we're passing Berlin. We're going to go past we're actually going to go through Amsterdam. So we're going to skip France and Brussels. We're going to go near Rotterdam. And then we're going to cross the channel. Once we pass Rotterdam, we'll cross the channel and start our... We'll be north of Dover, the Dover Cliffs, is when we'll start our... Get ready for our arrival portion into London Gatwick. So there we are. So that's what we got ahead of us. So we're skipping France and Belgium altogether. We are going over Amsterdam. Or not, well, parts of Amsterdam. Not Amsterdam proper, but we're just, well, I should say the Netherlands. That's what we're going over the Netherlands. So HLZ, so SAS should be our next. So we're still on our way to HLZ. A little bit more to go there. So, yep, I think we're almost at the halfway point in the flight. Keep an eye on the fuel. Actually, let's see. Let's go back here and have a look. I would say by SAS or Robig, that should be about our halfway point right there. Robig I think that's about halfway. So we're almost there, folks. Aha. Well, there we are. So if we're talking to Bremen Center, then that must mean that we are near another major airport. Let's see if we can spot it. Or is that it behind us? That almost looks like an airport there, but maybe I'm wrong. Kind of looks like an airport. Let's see if we can spot a major airport here in the area. Well, I'm guessing we will talk to Amsterdam Center eventually. So I do think they have control over a lot of the airspace there for the flights coming into the Netherlands. We're passing through the Netherlands airspace. Alright, so yeah, from here this turn should take us all the way across the southern part of the Netherlands. So that should be, now we should be en route to SAS. Yeah, a few more minor course adjustments along the way, and then that'll take us right through the southern part of the Netherlands. .30 nautical miles to SAS. We'll do a close-up tour of the aircraft while we're cruising along here. So this is the preferred walking area on the wing if you have to walk on the maintenance. Boy, look, if you get close enough, you can see the rivets on the edge of the winglet there. Look at that. A little bit of a mess down there at the bottom, but you can only see it if you really zoom in. That's acceptable. You know, I was reading a bit more of the history of the Concorde, right? And they talked about on the takeoffs and landings. Almost there. That they, once they took off from like JFK, right, and they were heading to Heathrow, they were supposed to power back on the engines while they were still climbing in order to minimize the noise. What they discovered was, hold on a second, I'm getting buffering again. Let me refresh. So I'm looking at the same screen, hopefully, as you all are. It turns out that in many ways that they were quieter than like the 747s and any other traditional jetliners of the time when they were starting to do regular service from Heathrow or from JFK to Heathrow and back. Yeah, it's very strange that how they, but they have a whole part of their flight, their checklist or whatever, their whole book that they had for the pilot and co-pilot talk and the flight engineer. They go over like the noise reduction, and then they discovered that after all, they were much quieter than the normal jetliners of the time, which I thought was pretty interesting. But everybody was worried that they would, with those big engines and all that, that they would, the environmental impact would be incredibly high. And it turns out that they, even without that noise reduction plan, they were still quieter than the traditional airliners of the time. Like those big engines on the first 747s were massively loud. The passenger jets of the time were, the engines were just insanely loud. But it's amazing how quiet this is. These engines that the Airbus uses, and now even the engines that Boeing uses for their airliners are much quieter, much more fuel efficient. All right, so we should be at about the halfway point now. And a couple more nav points and we should be over. 1 second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My RKN, we should be in Amsterdam airspace, maybe even a little bit before that. So let's look at our long-range forecast here. All right, so let's see if how this works now. The mouse. Yeah, a little bit, pretty close to where we normally get, but anyway. So there's our arrival point, Arnhem. I don't know why I said Arnu, but it's Arnhem is our arrival point of the flight. So that is, I think. Let me look at my plan here. That should be... Okay, we'll be out over the... you call it the... No, we won't. I'm sorry. We'll be over the UK. By the time we get to Arnhem, we will be in over the UK. Okay, this is a little bit different. Excuse me. All right. But anyway, yeah. So once we get to that point, we'll be over England. So we are definitely more than halfway there, folks. Lots of lurkers. Now I'm curious to see if I'm out. Oh, look at that. Ooh. Let me zoom way out. Zoom way in. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay. I wonder if I oops, zoom in. Oh, that's much easier to see. Instead of cycling through, can I actually, ooh, look at that. It does work. All right, interesting. Cool. Oh. The mouse does work on here then. So last night, interestingly enough, once I got the mouse hooked up, and I was gonna part of my cool down phase from all the shenanigans from yesterday that that happened. I was gonna log in and kind of Langen Center. Okay, so I wonder if that's part of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, or I think we're still over Germany. Ezoff. Wow. I don't want to Ezoff. Why don't you Ezoff? Anyway, so I was gonna log in, and I was when I got on last night, the loading page would be stuck, and my first thought was, okay, it must be the mouse and keyboard are not, being recognized by Flight Sim, and it's just causing like a delay in getting all the way into the sim. Turns out that was not the case. There was a massive server problem yesterday afternoon / evening time. It would take you quite a long time to finally get into the sim on the screen with the world map and all that. So I didn't get it really. I tried because I looked up, that there's it does have like a default setting for your mouse in the sim, but you can change the buttons if you so desire. You know, you can assign different buttons to do different things. So, but now I know it works. Like using the wheel to be able to zoom in, you know, like that, and then I can hold the right mouse button, and I can actually look at the all that stuff. It's a little bit clearer, I think, this way. I don't know why, but it just feels like it's I can actually, you know, even though before we were getting all the way in there, but like everything seems to be better, you know, at a much better, you know, I can actually show you guys a little bit more up front, or, you know, the stuff that I can show you, kind of thing. So yeah, good stuff. I'm glad that works. That's good. And the reason why I got the mouse, especially, is when we do, and I'm going to try this probably this weekend, probably Sunday when I'm not streaming. I'm going to try to do some stuff in the Concorde with the mouse that I can click things. I can find it much quicker, you know. So that will be the key to helping with the startup. Now, one of the things that I'm trying to think about. Now, I thought it was a 2.5-hour flight from JFK to Heathrow. It turns out I might have been wrong. It's about a 3.5-hour flight. Now, we may get there quicker if we fly with the live weather and we have a tailwind. Of course, we'll get there a little bit quicker. But so 3.5 hours flight, that's still not too bad. But my other question will be, or not question, what I'm trying to think about doing is either I do the whole startup procedure, taxi out to the runway, and then take off. Now I know, like I said about the other day, I know the Concorde is not something that everybody has, nor will they consider buying, because it's not cheap unless it goes on sale, but even then it still might be a bit expensive. But it's a very complex plane, so for some people they may skip that and just be at the departure runway. Hold on, let me refresh this again. Boy, Twitch is really buffering quite a bit today. So I may do that, but that also means I have to kind of look. I can't, I'll have to look through the chat once the plane started up. It's a bit of a process. So, and I can't lose my place in the process. So I'm going to try to model a little bit like what Captain Arish does before he starts up the 172, because he has the whole checklist, right? An actual Cessna 172 checklist that he goes through. He has it printed and he goes through each item, whether it's, like make sure all the windows are closed and locked, or the doors are locked and all that. He simulates that, but he goes through that checklist. There we go. Amsterdam Center. Ta-da! I knew it. I guessed correctly this time. Yay, me. Anyway. Now we're heading to Lichdo. Lichdo? Yep, that's our next. Alright, so we're almost there, folks. So what he usually does is he'll start up his stream, say hello to everybody in the chat and all that. Tell everybody give any other information. before he starts up the aircraft, and then eventually it's like, okay, that's his focus. So I'm trying to figure out, because I know what will probably happen is, and is that people will come in while I'm doing the switches and everything. That's okay, Chris. No worries. You're fine. We still got plenty of flying left to go. We're just over Amsterdam now. We're headed towards the English Channel. We're over the Netherlands, I should say, not over Amsterdam, but we're over the Netherlands. The channel should be off in the distance there. So I feel like that's something I'm going to have to, well, hopefully if my mods are all there during that part, they can answer questions if possible, or, you know, ask the person to be patient and I'll get to their comment, you know, because that's usually when people are going to come in like, what's, you know, which is, I understand that. But, yeah, I'd like to do at least, I think on the first stream, I'd like to do a whole startup. You know, show you guys the startup, the pushbacks, get to the, so we'll start up 2 engines, push back, start up the other 2 engines, taxi out, and get everything set up for takeoff, and bam, we'll get in the air, and then we'll follow the checklist, the procedures. Once we're in the air, what do we do along the way, and we'll do all that. Okay. So that's the intent. And I know it's going to be a bit intensive, especially the first time that I'm streaming it. Lots of people are going to have lots of questions, and like I said, I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. I may miss some of them, and it's not intentional, you know. So just know that that's going to be part of the process. So. I think it'll be interesting, and then we'll get in the air, we'll fly over to Heathrow, land the Concorde, park it, and we'll call it a day. But it's going to be a bit of a long stream. So I'm preemptively asking for everybody's patience the first time we do it. But I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be fun to fly. We'll get up there to 60,000 feet. We'll break the sound barrier a bunch of times over the Atlantic, and then we'll get ready to land before we know it. All right, almost there, folks. We have 67 nautical miles. It was probably a little bit more than that. And then, so we do have our arrival portion coming up. Let's have a long-range forecast again. So there we are. We're within, actually, if I go to 160. Oh, nope. Wish there was like an in-between. So that is what's left in our flight, in that whole little mess right there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit closer with the mouse. Other way. Nope. But I guess that's as close as we normally get. But it seems like it's a little bit clearer this way. I don't know why. Maybe it's Mick, when that happens, can you try to avoid the dad dancing again? Which part? Part. I must have missed something. That's a weird... Yeah. Oh, Junkers was yesterday. We'll be back in it tomorrow, Skeptic. I hope you're well. We are just over the Netherlands. We will be across the channel here pretty soon. And lining up for landing at London Gatwick. Here in the Polish Airlines liveried A320. It's been a good flight. We've not... Knock on wood, knock on fake wood. But yeah, we'll be back in the Junkers tomorrow, going from Alor Setar to Singapore. that's going to be a bit of a long flight. At least by my estimations. Now, even so, kind of talking about tomorrow's flight, or what I've been doing, and what I want to do, or well, let me rephrase. So there's a flight computer, right? There's a handheld one that's, pilots learn how to use the E6B. It's like this wheel with a ruler kind of looking thing stuck in the middle. I'm going to be... Oh, yes. Hello, Para. Man, I really wish I could get over there to Ireland and meet you all folks in person. That would be amazing. But I hope you have a lot of fun, because I'm guessing that's where you go. That's where you're heading, is to Ireland for the meetup with Two-Tone. So anyway, so the E6B, there's the analog version, right? And then there's a website that mimics the same sort of thing that the analog one is like, but you plug in the information like your winds, your air speeds, and all that kind of stuff, and it'll give you an 12. Nice. Well, hopefully you have a nice vacation. That sounds amazing. I'm a bit jealous. I would love nothing more than to head over there and meet you all folks in person and have some laughs in person and all that. It would be amazing. Maybe next year. Maybe if they do it another time and I can plan for it, but that would be fantastic. So with that, like, okay, there's a leg for tomorrow's flight. We have like a 200 and, oh yeah, I'm sure too. A 200 nautical mile leg, right? So I plug in that distance, 200 nautical miles, and then I plug in my airspeed, 114 knots. And then if there's any wind, what direction is the wind coming from and how fast is the wind? And so it will tell me roughly, at some point I can look at it and it'll say the time on this particular leg will be 1 hour and 30 minutes, right? Now, that's, I think, a reasonable reasonable time, right? It'll tell me that, so I'll write down on this leg it'll be 1 hour and 30 minutes, for instance. Sometimes in the sim we get there faster than, which is great, right? But we have a rough estimate by this point on this leg at 1 hour and 30 minutes. This is what I should be seeing, right? So if we do, like, a lot of my nav points on the Euchre flight, we've been going over airports. So it's an easy thing to identify. Yep, this is the airport. This is the way that the runways go. Yep, we're at the right spot. So gives an indication if we're in that time frame and we haven't seen our airport. Okay, are we close to our point, or are we a little bit off, or do we still have more to go? Whatever. So I've been recalculating some of my estimations, although it's a bit. I wish I'd been doing that all along, because other times I would grossly over-exaggerate the time by my own errors in my calculations without using the E6B website. So, yeah, that's part of the problem, I think. So I've been using that, and for any of the other flights that we're doing VOR to VOR routes, like when we do the P-38 Lightning flights, from one point to the next point, what's the time frame, just so that we have an idea, so we should be the channel right there. So we are almost completely done here in Amsterdam, or the Netherlands, I should say. Rotterdam should be right up here. So the airport for Rotterdam, we should be able to kind of see that here any moment if we haven't already passed it. I do believe there's an airport here in Rotterdam. But yeah, so that's the intent, is to try to have a better idea, especially when I have to time my legs and of each portion of the flight, so that I know roughly, okay, at this point I should be seeing this, and based on, if I look at the sky vector chart, okay, if we were doing a VOR flight, and then like, okay, I see this part on my sky vector chart of this particular part of the world, and my VOR is like right there, I know roughly we still have a bit more to go, right? So, but we're within, we have visual sight of our different landmarks. This is, you could say this is a landmark of sorts, right? It's very distinctive. Otherwise, you would have an airport would be your other landmark, very distinctive, or a massive mountain like Mount Everest or something like that. You could, something very distinguishable is what you're wanting to use. All right, we're heading over the channel here in a moment, folks. As always, your host and pilot, Uncle B, is not accountable for any water landings. Once we hit the water, it's everybody for themselves. If you can't swim, sorry for your luck. Looks like an airport of some kind down there. Maybe it's an air base. Definitely looks like a runway of some kind right there, off the tip of the nose there. The North Sea. Well, we're supposed to be flying over the channel here pretty soon. I don't mind getting wet. Yeah, okay, Joseph. Thought it was part of the English Channel. I thought the North Sea was much higher, farther north. Yeah, it looks like we're going across the channel, but I could be wrong. Either way, we're getting ready to cross. Let's see. Ooh, excuse me. All right, this is the part where things are going to get a little it's not going to follow this route exactly. The one I'm looking at over here on SimBrief. Yeah, okay. But we have a rough idea of where we're at. So once we reach Rimbu, so I'm guessing we should be talking to London Center here in a moment. Let's see how far we got to go across. So yeah. Once we get there, then I think it should be only a, let's zoom out just a bit here. So basically, yeah, it's not going to be a massive movement. We're not going to turn, maybe a small adjustment, but it's not going to be a massive adjustment. Now, in SimBrief, the way that they have this set up is a bit different than what I'm seeing in here. All right, 112 nautical miles. So we have to be at about 13, we'll say 14,000 feet, right? So we're gonna go, we'll get a little bit closer. We'll start stepping down in altitude. A bit between the Netherlands and the UK is the North. Oh, and it's longer than that. London airspace. Yeah, we should be in London airspace eventually. I think as we get farther across. Now, so the way we're heading is almost we're going to be in the across the channel part. That's the. But in SimBrief, the way that they have me go, there's way more to the flight. Like there's more fixed points along the way, or different navigation points, I should say. That would the way we would come in is probably over the North Sea, down into the UK. Yeah. So. But this one, it's almost like we're cutting right across, and we'll be, over the channel portion. So we're going like North Sea over the channel into London airspace. So. But anyway, so we should be changing. We should be talking to London Center. Oh, talking to Brussels first. So we're skirting the edge of their airspace. All right. Oops. Zoom back out. Or in, I should say. Yeah. So it's like we're going North Sea, then kind of across on this part of the flight plan. But like I said, on SimBrief, it shows a much different path to get there. Like it comes in north of Dover onto overland, and then you turn. So yeah, the way that part of the flight plan is much different than what we have here in the. So yeah, there's the UK already up there in front of us. So we got to start dropping some altitude, folks. Get ready for landing here. Let's go to 30,000 first. All right. Well, we're heading to London Gatwick, Majoro, and thank you for the follow, by the way. Appreciate it. Yeah, we took off from Warsaw, heading to London Gatwick. But yeah, when I put the flight together on SimBrief just to see how SimBrief has way more navigation points along the way versus the one here in Sim. But what I may do in the future is I can add the nav points as needed to have a more realistic flight plan to follow. So all right, where we have 77 nautical miles. Okay. Seeing how more people are popping in from the server. Still not too terribly busy on the server. Yeah, so yeah, so I could see that. So yeah, North Sea, and then we're just gonna basically, there's the channel part, I think is what you guys are talking about. That part right there. So we are gonna fly over both North Sea and we'll catch just a smidge of the channel, it looks like. All right, let's go ahead and continue to reduce. Let's ask for another 5,000 feet. Oh, I thought we were right within the limit. Oh. Interesting. All right, so we still have 62 nautical miles. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick captain's break. I will be back in just a moment, folks. Sit tight. Matter of fact, I will. There we go. You can watch the descent from outside there. All right, I'll be right back, folks. Oop, I'm back. Sorry about that. I thought I muted myself. All right, folks, we're almost there. Thank you, Joseph. All right. Oops. Have the flight attendants, cabin crew clean up for arrival. Probably going to get an ad break here in a minute, folks. If you aren't already. Yep, I want the ads. So we are still kind of coming in over the Dover Cliff. Should be right up here, I do believe. If they're not already there. I think that's them right there. Yeah, that looks like the Dover Cliffs. All right, we're almost there. Yep, there's the Cliffs of Dover. Now see, yeah, the way that on SimBrief it had us coming in over that way, I do believe, into the same area we're heading to. Or the same arrival port part of the flight. All right. There we are. Oh, did I do something? Wow, what in the world's going on here? Oh, no, 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 no. What is going? Oh. Why did it suddenly jump? Oh, no, 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 no. No, don't do this to me now. What in the world is going on here? Wow, okay. Wow, okay, we gotta really start. What in the world just happened? That was really weird. Okay. Yeah, we really gotta slow down now. Okay, hold on a second. All right, there we go. I would like to. Trust me. I don't think the expedite button works. No, it suddenly changed on its own, Joseph. I checked. I didn't do anything. I was just making sure we were on our way down to our altitude. It just like suddenly changed its own. It changed its mind on its own. It's very strange. Like the flight plan was fine, but for some reason, like it had put in something of its own. I don't understand what happened, but that's fine. We're okay. We're fine. We got it sorted again. I thought I disconnected something by. Yeah, we're fine. All right, let's look ahead here real quick. So basically, that's what we've got left. Okay, this part right here. So Timba, and then we're going to turn and we'll line up for our runway. So we're fine. We will be at our pretty close to her. It might be Joseph. I don't know. It had a weird, like it said user, but it from where we were to here, it should have followed a path of some kind, but it was like a weird sort of something got introduced. But it's fine. We're okay. We got this. We're heading the right direction, so we're okay. All right. Oops. I'm gonna have to get the laptop is running hot right now. Whew. I have to give it a break after this. All right, folks, I'm going to keep my eyes off of the chat for the remainder of the flight. I'll catch up with the chat once we are on the ground. We have the plane under control, aircraft under control. All right. Oh, it's okay. All right, it's doing it again. All right, hold on, folks. I'm gonna have to do this again. All right. Yep. So this somehow it did get kind of messed up once we departed. Like it showed, I thought it said we had a good path, a good flight plan. I don't know what happened. Like none of this stuff, none of this stuff should be happening. Like it showed it was clear. Like I'm positive we had a good flight plan with no major issues. So, all right, we're just gonna have to keep that. Have to keep an eye on things here. See, I think it's going to do it again. Maybe not. All right, I think we're okay. Now I think we're okay. I think it'll do its own. All right, we're good. Keep an eye on things. Make sure we stay.
2,500.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Why are we? What?
Overspeed. Overspeed.
How are we overspeeding?
Overspeed. Overspeed.
This is this.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
What in the world? Like it just suddenly.
Overspeed.
That.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Wow. Something is not right. That's for sure.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Wow, we are. Oh, we are really.
Overspeed.
Oh, you know what?
Overspeed.
I know why.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
We're in the wrong. We went out of the detent.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Wow. Okay.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
What in the world? All right, now it's settling down. What is happening? Like it is like the auto throttle is just gone like nuts. Oh, we are gonna. This is gonna be a bad. I don't think we're gonna make this landing. There's no way we can bleed off the speed in time. Oh yeah, there's something wrong here. It is. I cannot get this thing to settle down. Like yeah, we've got some problems here, folks. Sorry. Yeah, look at this. This is insane. Like it went on its own. I don't. Oh boy. This is weird. No, weird. All right, we're gonna have to go back around. Like the autopilot just had its own mind. Wow, I don't know what happened there. All right, we're gonna go around. We're gonna have to. Wow, that was insane. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. All right. What if we do this now? What happens then? That's the second. That's happened before, I think. Where it's kind of had a weird, like coming in for approach. We're slowing down, then all of a sudden the throttle goes crazy. All right, let's go. Rec 2, let's do this. Let's just go back there. And then we'll come back around again. is it turning now? What? Now it's doing its own thing. Like, wow, this plane is like got its own mind today. See, now it's, oh, okay, no, it's not accelerating. Wow, now it's losing altitude. Like, massive altitude. Wow, okay, we're, oh my God. Whew, this is insane. I don't get it. Wow, okay. All right, well, we're going to try to get back to that Timbu point. That was my intent. To get us back lined up for approach. Wow, this is, I don't know what's going on. Okay, maybe now it'll settle down. I don't know what's happening, quite honestly. This is insane. All right, what we made is due.
1,500. 1,000. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard 5.
Oop. Sorry, I was muted. So what I think happened, quite honestly, was that we were landing with the wind instead of against the wind. So I think that's what caused the plane to speed up. Okay. No, no, no. I had a little bit of a cough, so I wasn't trying to cough in anybody's ear. Anyway, so I think what happened was that because we were landing with the wind instead of against it. So which caught once I was dropping flaps, the plane, I think it was trying to compensate for the oops, did I not hit the sorry. What I should have done, quite honestly, is I should have checked the way that the wind was blowing today and picked the appropriate runway, which would have been 08 right instead of 26 left. I should have come in on 08 right because of the wind, right? Because the wind was coming from the west. We had a tailwind landing, so I think that was the problem. If I had to venture a guess. Because when I was dropping flaps to slow down, I think we turned with the wind, and then the wind was like, and then the plane was like, oh, look at this, watch me. Yeah, I should have picked a different approach. I should have checked the weather. So, important point to learn. If you're going to fly with live weather, check your weather, check your approaches. Lesson learned. It's that's okay. I should have double checked this morning before I took off. I should have picked a different approach. And there is so for those of you who don't know, blame it on. Well, that's what it is. I mean, if you fly with live weather, this is what you can expect. You're going to get those winds, and you have to pick the appropriate approach for your. So here's a good tool, and I should have used it this morning, right? If you're, but you handled it okay. I didn't notice. Well, so basically what happened, Bex, that you missed, the part that you missed was, the flight plan started acting up. It was having us go around. It seemed like the flight plan had its own ideas. So we got back on track, but then that's when I was slowing down, I was dropping more flap, and then suddenly the plane decided to speed up quite a lot. And so I had to go around, and I didn't think about the fact, but now when I'm thinking about the landing, we were coming in much quicker. It's like we were coming in very fast, which we shouldn't have been. If we were at 140 knots, which is the normal speed I usually land at in this aircraft, but it felt like it was going much quicker. That's the problem. So there's a tool here. I was trying to put there we go. That's a handy tool if you're flying with live weather. So if I look at that right now, right, let's kind of keep pulling off the runway here and get going towards our parking gate. So if I look at that website and I put in EG Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, it would have said 08 right or 08 left is our headwind. That is the one that you want to go into. That's how you want to land. You don't want to land with the wind. You want to land into the wind. So that's what happened. I think that played the part in it. So, again, lessons learned. We made it on the hair of our chinny chin chins, and then some. So it's okay. But I should have checked that. And so anytime if you're in the sim and you're planning your flight, save that tab on your phone, your laptop, your whatever, right? And so when you're making your plans, check the direction of the wind for your takeoff and for your landing and adjust accordingly. Well, side winds you can't do much about so if you have the autopilot on, and you have the ILS approach engaged, right? The crosswinds, the plane will kind of handle that. It should. But you have to, if once you disengage all that, that's when you have to deal with it. But usually you're close enough to the ground, you can get it settled down and go and be done. But sometimes, not always, sometimes you may have to fight with the plane to settle down. But I think that's what happened. Is it was the wind, we were flying with the wind, which caused the plane to do what it did. And I didn't even think about that until now. So, lesson learned. Anyways. And if there was no ILS 8 right or 8 left approach, we could still get lined up, right? And still be at a decent altitude that we can basically land it ourselves without all that stuff being needed. So it's okay. But we made it. But yeah, it was just a very weird situation. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think that's what happened. If I had to guess. But we made it. We're fine. Anyway, so yeah, tomorrow 7:10 Eastern, 11:10 UTC, 12:10 UK in the Junkers 52. Hold on a second, I gotta. Yeah. So that's I didn't do that. I didn't even think about it until we were on the ground. I'm like, man, we were coming in way faster than normal. It just felt like I felt like I was going to bounce and then crash once we got on the ground, or close to it, and it was just like the wind. I didn't even think about it until afterwards. I'm like, yeah, that's probably what happened. Ta-da. Anyway, well, that's all right. We made it. Now we just got to get to our parking spot. Oh, man. Wow. And see, what I think it was, quite honestly, I picked these ILS approaches because I'm like, oh, I would hit the approach button, everything will be terrific. It'll be a breeze. The Death Star will engage its tractor beam. We'll go right on in and land, and we'll go see Darth Vader. I'm kidding, of course. A little Star Wars reference there. Because I always think about the ILS approach. Once it locks in, it's like the Death Star tractor beam pulling the Millennium Falcon into the Death Star, into the little landing bay. Which gave Han Solo enough time to come up with a plan to cause a little chaos. Just a little bit. He had a little plan, not a big plan, but just a little plan. Anyways, so yeah, I think Mick, if you check, if you save that website, that link on your desktop there, or on your in your browser, check your. I think that's probably why you're experiencing the same problems that I just experienced. So if you plan your takeoff and landings with the wind, if you're flying with the live weather, that will help you plan your flights a little bit better. If you're flying with the live weather, that is. If not, then I think you're okay. Then it might be something different, but I think that's what it was. If I was a betting man, I would suspect that's what happened. Never a dull moment around here. Flying's a lot like a box of chocolates. You never know if you're gonna land or crash. I haven't watched that movie in ages. Do you guys over in the UK? Do you have a Bubba Gump Shrimp Factory? The restaurant anywhere? Do you guys have that over there, or is that just a U.S. only sort of thing? The famous restaurant name from Forrest Gump. Oh, okay. If you ever get to the States, they do have one in New York City in Times Square. That actually you can sit there right by the window that looks down into Times Square. I do recommend it. It's a neat experience. So like you have if you need your server's attention, you put stop Forrest stop, or if you don't need anything, you put run Forrest run. There's a little sign that you flip, that you put on. It's like on the edge of your table. So otherwise, if they see run Forrest run, you know, they're going to assume that you don't need anything, and you'd be like, why isn't my server stopping? You got to put stop Forrest stop. I mean, it's not bad food. You have hamburgers, they got steaks, of course they have shrimp and fish, chicken. It's just one of those touristy sort of restaurants. I've been to the one in New York City in Times Square. I've been to the one numerous times over at Fisherman's Wharf there in San Francisco. No, racing is life. Anything that happens before or after is just waiting. That's the proper. You're going to talk about something is life. Racing is life. Anything that happens before or after is just waiting. It's a professional blood sport. Ooh. Hey, look at that. We didn't even have to ask. Ta-da! Passengers, I am your father. Alright. Let's end this. Ooh, that did not end like it should have. That's interesting. Where's the battery switch? Where's my batteries? Alright. Oh, let's turn the lights off. This is what happens when you don't normally There we go. Got it. 2 hours and 12 minutes. All right. Let me go ahead and put this in over here on good old fshub.com. If you also are a simmer, I highly recommend be a part of FS Hub. It has all kinds of cool features. It has all. If you're on the PC side, it's like what do you call it? It has a it'll transfer everything over from your flight on the PC right into your profile. And if you're part of an airline, you don't even have to wait for approval, I don't think. 1333. Submit. So, anyway, all right. That's going to be it for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow on the Junkers 52, departing from Alor, Sitar, heading to Singapore. Should be an interesting flight. Hopefully nice and scenic. We'll have some scattered clouds just to make things interesting. Ooh, it's raining here. Yay. Hopefully it cools things down, but we'll see. Thank you, Bex. Thank you, Joseph. It was okay. I don't know that it was amazing or anything or whatever, but thank you for the compliments. It was average at best. It was an average flight, I think. It was C. We did C work, and we got a C for it. That's what I think. I wanted an A effort, but I got a C, and that's what I deserve. So it's all right. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, morning, afternoon, evening. Try to stay cool if you're in areas where the heat is unbearable right now. Hopefully you find some shade, find a way to stay cool. And I will see you all tomorrow. Do enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, morning, afternoon, evening. Early Wednesday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until tomorrow, peace, live long and prosper.